So everybody has pretty much heard the news about Sony's decision to, stop, dealing with physical media as a whole, and they're going the digital route. And a lot of people are understandably upset about that. I was kind of upset about that because I'm like, okay, like they're really going for it. They're taking people's options away, and that's not cool. Everybody deserves to play games their way, and collectors deserve to collect. But as the weeks go on, the more information gets out there, the more people are starting to see that okay, like physical games really aren't, you know, the best way. Well, that's debatable. They're not the best seller for the console for PlayStation 5. Everybody is pretty much, not everybody, but majority of people are going for they're going the digital route. And I mean, me myself, I'm guilty of that. I haven't bought a physical game since 2020, and that's not because I don't care about physical games. I do. Like, I was primarily a physical game buyer. I didn't start buying. I didn't stop buying physical games until I got my PS4. I mean PS5. I'm sorry, my PS5. And that's mainly because my PS5. Everybody was the scalpers and everything. They were like hoarding all the consoles and everything. I wasn't able to get the one I wanted. I ended up getting the PS5, the digital edition, and I even paid extra for that. That was crazy back then. Yeah, everybody knows how that was back then. But yeah, once that happened and I got that, I was like, okay, well, all right. I guess I am going to go the digital route now. I didn't think too much of it. I was like, okay. Plus, I was like running out of space. I had a shelf full of games. It was full of PS3 and PS4 games, and it was kind of getting full. It was more than full. I had to put some games like in a little storage crate that I got from Home Depot. That's how many games I had. Like my storage shelf was just full. So I was kind of like, okay, this is better. I don't have to, swap cartridges every time I want to play a different game. Just download it, or just hop in since it's already on the console. And I thought that was cool. But you know, the more the PlayStation 5 generation started to go, the more I started to notice that yeah, this digital thing, it might not be all of that. Especially like when I had a issue where I wasn't able to connect to the PlayStation Network and it wasn't able to verify the license for the game. And then I was like, oh, okay. This is what they were talking about. Like how like it could just be taken away at any moment. And that's when I was like, okay. Even though I didn't start buying digital because I couldn't, I have my digital only PS5. That's when I was like, okay, I see how that could be a problem and I see why people don't like that. And now Sony, they officially went for it. They pretty much said, "Hey, here we're not doing, you're not doing physical anymore." And to my surprise, I was like, okay, they're getting a lot of backlash. They're gonna backtrack on this. They're gonna be like, okay, we fucked up. Let's let's backtrack on this, get everybody back on our side, and go from there. But surprisingly, they are not backing down. Sony, yeah, from what I read and heard from different articles and YouTubers talking about it, they are willing to let go of those people, begging for, I don't want to say begging, that's the people asking for physical games. They are really ready to let those people go. And if I was still one of those people, they'll be willing to let me go. And I'm just like, man, like, and I've been a PlayStation fan since the beginning. Like, I think the first PlayStation came out when I was 9 years old, 95, I believe. So I was like, man, like, they would just throw me away like that. Like, but I'm old enough now to understand, like, loyalty, especially to these companies, it means nothing. Like, literally. Like, I've been a fan since I was 9, and all those years, over 20 years of loyalty, not loyalty, I own all the consoles, but you know what I mean. 20 years of support, and they just pretty much say, hey, if you don't like it, kick rocks. Like that's I understand why some gamers feel like, damn, like they just abandoned us. And yeah, I mean, it does suck, and I definitely understand where they're coming from because I used to be one of them, and I can only imagine. But that is to say that, physical is kind of how I've been going about it, and I'm kind of I don't want people to attack me because I already know how strongly people feel about their physical games, but I'm kind of okay with it. But like I need them to kind of do something like Xbox is doing. Like you can have your disc drive, and you can still put I think they said they put the game in the console, and you can always like have it, something like that. I gotta do more research on that, but Xbox is doing something. Basically, the Xbox gamers are happy. Like those guys are not complaining right now. I mean, yeah, it's some stuff that Xbox isn't perfect. Sony and Xbox are both dropping the ball this generation, in my opinion. Like they're even Nintendo to a lesser extent, but nobody is off the hook this generation. Nobody. Everybody is kind of effing up a little bit, but Microsoft have been the main ones dropping the ball this generation. But Sony, with this bomb they dropped on everybody recently, they are now in the lead. Yeah, sad to say. And I'm a PlayStation fan, but I can't deny it. They are public enemy number one in the gaming space right now. And yeah, it's sad to see, but it's kind of like that Batman quote, from the Dark Knight. What they say? You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that seems to be how it's going for PlayStation. Because a couple years ago they were talking about, we want our players to know that they own their games, to we don't give a damn if you own your games. And that's just crazy to me, like how like a little over a decade can change a company. But I mean, most of the people who believe that are not even there anymore, so it's understandable. New management, new rules. I think Herman Holtz is probably one of the worst CEOs they've had, to be honest. I do not like what this guy is doing at all. The live service thing is just horrible, but that's for another video. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about how the physical versus digital war is going right now, and my 2 cents. If I didn't give a straight answer, I'm not completely torn up about the whole physical going away, but I do want it to still be an option for the people that want it. And as far as the PlayStation 6 coming out soon, I'm not 100% sure if I am going to get it. We haven't had the best selection of exclusives this year, and seeing how they're pouring so much energy into this live service crap, like I don't see it getting any better. I know you have Wolverine and a couple of other games coming out. Well, Wolverine is the only exclusive that I can think of, to be honest. But after Wolverine, I have no idea what Sony has. But yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see if they can, in the summer, and get the fans back. I don't believe they can. They're gonna have to really just backtrack on everything they said over the last couple of weeks to do that. But I don't think they're in a place where they're willing to do that anymore. I think they're like, hey, take it or leave it. But with that being said, those are just a few of my thoughts on the situation. Didn't want to make a video that was too long, even though it came out a little longer than I expected. But just wanted to, give my perspective on this whole fiasco that's going on with Sony right now. Hopefully they can turn things around I'm still a fan, but I'm not so much of a fan to where I can't, you know, admit that a company that I love and support is messing up, and they are messing up right now. They have a lot of work to do to, make the fans happy again, because some people have already jumped ship and some people are talking about jumping ship. Personally, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here, but yeah, I just want to, I want Sony to be, the Sony that I grew up with. And I know that's asking a lot, especially these days, but, you know, a guy can always hope. So, but that's just, my 2 cents on the matter. Just wanted to give my opinion. Hope everybody out there having a good day, and see you on the next one. All right, peace.